just gonna leave that ice cream there?
Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Night Popcorn. This is Jason.
And this is Kai. We have another great discussion for you today. Saturday Night Popcorn is focusing on short films. So today's short film is O.C.D. from 2025, directed, written, produced by Luca Pizzoleo.
It's like the third movie that we watched from this guy, right?
Yeah, I actually have that in my notes somewhere. Like, we watched this one. We watched Death of a Frenchman.
Yes, yeah.
And In the Moon of the Valley, something like Valley and Moon.
Yeah.
Set in
was like
Pismo. No, not Pismo.
70s,
but
70s
Petaluma.
style, sort of like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's
Same
featuring
actor.
Stephen
Ogg.
Ogg,
Mm-hmm.
right? Who I was watching like a whole video on like Trevor from GTA.
There's a compilation of his shit show? Oh my God.
So bad. I was like, that's the guy. That's Trevor right there. but
the
when
fact
you
that
see
he's-
him, who do you...
Oh, instantly. It's Trevor. Yeah.
Or the dude from The Walking Dead.
No, I think Trevor. Yeah,
I think most people probably
automatically go
recognize
Trevor.
him as Trevor.
Yeah.
And everything.
Because he looks just like the character. He's just not in underwear every second.
I know, that was like the first thing that popped up was like when they cut to like Trevor and everything. It's just him in his underwear just walking around.
So what did you think of this short? So now that we've seen 3 films by Luca, what did you think of this one?
I like this one. It's very kind of like I'm not diagnosed with OCD, but I'm very like, I have to like touch my door, like to check if it's locked or my window's closed. I have like some tendencies, and I feel for this guy, man.
Dude.
I was like the whole time I was like, man, I would not be able to like walk away from that.
That's exactly how I felt. Like him just freaking out over the ice cream placement. I'm like, I would do the same. I would do the exact same thing. Like, yes, that should be moved to where all the other colors are.
Yeah.
Everything should be lined up perfect. Yeah.
And you know he's gonna be there for like an hour.
Oh,
or two.
for
You're
sure.
Like, all right, like how long does it take him to like leave his Scamazon for?
That was the funniest part.
That was hilarious.
Because I didn't notice, like, I know they showed his shirt the whole time, but I didn't notice it until the end when he was like, yo, you work for Scamazon? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's perfect.
But I like I don't know. This one is like the least like stylized, I think, from the other 2 that we watched.
I thought, at least color grading wise, they all kind of felt very similar, like color wise. Shot wise, you can see the progression. At least I noticed the progression in like, hey, we have a little bit more money for different shots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the first 2 had great shots, but this one felt like, okay, we had a little bit more money. Like, we've got Stephen Ogg, and we were able to do different perspectives with this camera.
Cinematography. The one shot that I liked was when he was crawling around on the floor, and I was like, I don't know how they did that. Like, there's literally probably a dude like holding the camera down. On
Probably
the floor.
pulling somebody on a skateboard.
Right? and then when he sees the Rocky Road ice cream in the misplaced
the vanilla
section, and then it like lights up the whole like the whole like refrigerator section. Yeah, you can tell that they have a little bit more going on. Steven standing there and actually acting in this, then you know that there's probably a little bit more going on in the background.
But even one of the guys that was a newscaster too was a familiar face. I don't know his name, but I've seen him in like TV shows and movies. And I was like, oh shoot.
Yeah. There's a lot. I don't know. For me, I feel like the other 2, since I think they were like time periods. Or sort of. I don't know. Like the one.
The Valley was for sure a time period.
Yeah, that was definitely
like the dress and everything, and the colors.
The Death of a Frenchman.
That wasn't. I don't know if that was time period, but I think it was very like we're set in one location.
Yeah.
And they had to kind of build around that one location.
Yeah, and they're sitting on a couch like this and everything. I guess you can kind of see that they all come from the same person. Like each of these, like when you like think about people that have a style.
Yeah.
Like, you're
fits in
definitely
that.
going to be able to watch this and know that this is Luca's
Yeah.
kind of like as he progresses, or hopefully we see more of
Mm-hmm.
this and everything. Cinematography wise, what would you say?
It was good. It was good. Like, that was kind of what I touched on, was the shot choices, that you can kind of see how things have changed, and his eyes sharpened from the first few that we saw to this one. Maybe he had more time to kind of build the shot list out, or whatever it may be. Or maybe this was just one that was closer to home, and so he was like, okay, I need to focus on really providing tension in this spot and a little bit of comedy here, because you saw those nuances. Like, his interaction with his girlfriend over the phone, she knew, or she knows what he's going through. She knows he has OCD, and so she's just trying to walk him through, like, yo, everything's gonna be okay. The world's not coming to an end if you just don't move that
It
thing.
definitely is now.
Right? But then for them to flip it on his head and be like, okay, let's cut to the news, and the world is coming to an end because he didn't move this ice cream.
Your girlfriend lights the whole house on fire.
And he's like, yo, don't do it. Was cool. I really enjoyed, like, the tension building in it. Like, this was 12 minutes, but it didn't feel like 12 minutes. It felt like so much happened in 12 minutes that it's like, okay, how are some people able to provide a great story in 10 to 15 minutes, and other people can't provide a great story in an hour and a half?
Yeah, right. And also still be self-contained, because like Death of the Frenchman, you're in this like kind of like small room.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a kitchen area and everything that you see sometimes. But this is also a convenience store. A convenience store is a larger kind of like footprint and everything possibly. But it's still very confined space, and he does so well with that, I think, and it kind of builds that story. And I think it also probably comes from the dude that plays his main characters too.
Yeah.
I think they like,
he's a
as
great
the
actor.
relationship
Yeah.
gets better too, it probably gets a little bit better kind of like on screen. And then you have just like randomly Stephen Ogg.
I really wonder what that conversation was like. Like, hey, we're doing this short film. This is the budget. Can we get Stephen Ogg? And he's just like,
Yeah,
F it.
or like, did they like do like, all right, we're gonna do a casting call, and
then Stephen Ogg just pops up. Like,
I haven't done anything since Trevor, so
I'm trying to build my resume back up. Like, you guys have a role for me.
But color grading, I guess it's like, for me, I feel like the editor too, especially in the Valley film that we watched, that one had its like distinct color grading, because like it almost kind of like had this like California kind of orange glow to everything, and so it kind of matched exactly. I probably feel like I like the setting and tone of that one the most, where this one, it seemed, I don't know, I guess it's because a convenience store is very washed out sometimes, and it's like very like office space, and
It's not, there's no unique like shadows or
until he's hiding in the back.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only shot that I felt like was like, whoa, because like he's hiding in the back, it's very like lit, like, and there's like a lot of shadows and everything. I feel like that was probably
Yeah, that was the end of the short.
that was the end,
Yeah.
But I guess like a convenience store, like there's only one way you can kind of like, but you can mess it up, I guess, if you are having
if you like
lighting
overly
yourself.
light it, or light it in a strange way. Like, they try to make it look as realistic as possible. But
And
I
I think they
like
got
the
it.
boldness in the color, though. Like, even though we had kind of a consistent light or lighting of the space, I like how bold the color still looked.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like in Da Vinci, you're probably like, all right, I'm just gonna
Let me
like
bump
raise
this
up.
blue a little bit. Let me give a little bit of
It
orange.
didn't look very sharp. Like, it did look like it stood out and
Yeah.
everything. I guess it kind of like,
That's the money.
Yeah,
that's the lens
the-
packages. Like, oh, we got a little bit more.
no, it's not just a filter on Da Vinci.
I wish. No, you got to spend the money on the good lenses, man.
Yeah, in terms of story, I think you're right. Where it's like this tension and I feel like I work in human resources and stuff, and we always watch like these things of like how to like inform ourselves about just what generally what everyone kind of like it could be working through in their own lives. I've seen a video on OCD in my own kind of like training, and this one I feel like it'd
Was
be
it better
hilarious
training?
if this like I'm gonna like raise my hand like, hey, let's watch this OCD.
I got a
video.
12-minute short all of us should watch. Like, it's perfect.
Because it definitely like the way your mind goes. It's like
Oh my
end of
goodness.
the world. There's a meteor, like phone's going off. There's like
I love all the
tsunami.
text. Oh, and then the image, like the photo of him in like the Rasta hat, and they were like, that's the one that's the one thing I really have enjoyed about watching Luca's shorts is like the little nuanced pieces. Like, okay, hey, here's a short about OCD, but let's also give you another like little twist in there of, hey, he posted some photo online years ago. Somebody found it, and then his whole world's about to just blow up. And he's freaking out. He's getting the text messages all over his phone. And even the robbers were like, yo, isn't that the dude?
He's going to lose his job at Scamza.
So I love that he's able to kind of toss like a little bit of fun into something.
And I wonder, like you said, you kind of like had like a comment where it's like, I wonder if he's pulling from like real experiences and like, because like when you think about a director, and Stanley Kubrick comes to mind. OCD is probably like one of the traits that you're like probably thinking
you have
that
to
a lot
have.
of them have.
Yeah.
Like Stanley Kubrick was very like what everything needed to be exactly the way it was. He needed multiple takes.
Wasn't like hundreds of takes sometimes?
Sometimes, man. It's like, but and you can also like Christopher Nolan, I'm assuming, probably has like, and there's times where he has like one shot to do it. But I think his process before that is like perfect until it gets to that one shot. And it's like, all right, now we have to do it. We have to get it what we get and stuff.
Well, even, was it Ridley? Yeah, it was Ridley Scott, not Michael Mann. He has like 4 cameras.
Oh, so he gets like everything.
Everything at once. Was it Ridley? Ridley did Gladiator, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he has like 3 or 4 cameras. So it's like, okay, cool, we got everything.
Hey, you kind of hit all your bases. You're like, all right, I'm just gonna deal with it in the editing.
In post, like, I think I got everything. Every angle is captured, but do we have everything?
Yeah, in terms of wanting more from Luca, we've seen 3 move. Like this guy is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like, and I think it's like it's very easy to recommend a lot of these things just to kind of like have a quick. But I wonder what like limits that jump to like a little bit longer, right? What is that?
Oh, like how does he expand on on this story or just like
just in general, I guess.
I think it would depend on the idea. Like there might be some ideas that's like, okay, cool, this one fits in a 15-minute block.
Yeah.
But I have this bigger idea because I think it's all about progression, similar to like work. You get into work, you only have the understanding of a few tasks. And then once you're there for a longer period of time, it's like, okay, now I have 4 tasks. And with filmmaking and creativity, you start off with like very minimal skills and then you build them up. So it feels like you start off with a few shorts and then he might be working on a longer feature film or a longer short in the future.
Yeah, I guess it's like, like when you think of an idea, you're like, oh, like this is not an hour or so, or even a half an hour. Where I guess it's a testament to his thought process, where it's like, all right, this is a truly like a 15-minute short.
Yeah.
Like let's get in there clean and to the point of OCD in this scenario and everything, and kind of like just convey how that goes in a convenience store. I definitely want to see more. I think it's very easy to kind of like just flip through his YouTube channel and stuff, or like hopefully we see something that like we see a headline that like, oh,
feature
Luca's
film
like
or
doing
something
on like Netflix or something.
Would you want OCD to be longer?
Just my own OCD. No, I don't want to feel that for like an hour. but I wonder, like, all right, yeah, because you can kind of see, because you're also like, all right, like, how does he do it in his delivery job? Like, how does that work and stuff? Like,
You
can totally see more.
That's what I have in my notes is I would love to see a day in the life of Owen. Owen is the main character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just
So,
film me in a day in the life and stuff.
yeah. But like to see Owen like wake up, because I know I get anxious in the morning. Like on a Sunday night, you wake up Monday morning to go to work. Everything races back from Friday. Like, okay, did I actually get everything accomplished Friday? So to see Owen's
No.
perspective on like, dang, did I deliver all my packages, and like how many more packages where am I gonna have to go?
Imagine if he
Give a
opens
whole
up
day
the
of
back
that.
of his truck and there's one little package.
But that would be a cool story. Like he's fresh, he had a great weekend, and he goes to his truck and opens it, and he's like, the one small package. And then just to follow
that's
that would
true.
be hilarious.
Yeah. And I think the dude that plays Owen will be able to do that well.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like, you just see the heartbreak. And
Just falls to his knees.
I think so. I think this story could be more. We want more, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I would be down for it. I would laugh so hard if that was like the premise of like, hey, let's follow Owen for a day, and we just see one package in a corner that he missed.
And then Stephen Ogg just
Just in the background looking.
the world is gonna blow up.
This is all of your fault. You didn't deliver that tennis ball to that
Everyone
little
else
Susie.
is gonna die, but not you. So you have to live with that.
A post-apocalyptic world. You're
He's
dealing
alone and he still has OCD.
Oh my goodness. Just shake it every day like, what did I do?
All right, Kai, you want to take us out?
Yeah, thanks for joining us for another episode of Saturday Night Popcorn. I'm Kai.
And I'm Jason, and we'll be back next week with another one.